Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Erin if you're new here. So as you guys know, last week's video was my show day vlog. That video went up 2 weeks ago from when I'm filming today. So it's been 2 weeks since I actually competed. Honestly, this video is not going to be what I had planned. It's also probably not going to be the most entertaining or well-performing video I've had. But I also feel like it's a really important video to make. Before my show, I had this idea in my head that my first video after my show would be me sitting down and explaining to you guys what my workouts and what my reverse diet is gonna look like. But I just don't feel like that would be the most honest video for me to make right now. This is my first show, and I honestly feel like I did kind of a bad job preparing myself for what after the show would look like and how hard reversing actually is. I was super excited for after the show to start growing and putting on muscle, and I still am, but I was definitely overconfident in my mental ability to be able to handle this reverse. I had this idea in my head that I would be able to do the perfect job on this reverse diet and that I would be perfectly comfortable putting on weight and just everything was gonna go super smooth, and that's just not the case. I also had this idea in my head that my calories were gonna be higher than they actually are, and I knew that you slowly had to increase your calories after the show, but I just didn't know how low my calories actually would start after the show. When people ask me about what I'm doing after my show and how I'm eating, they just kind of assume that you can eat whatever you want now, and they get confused when you tell them that you still have to be careful and like watch your diet after your show. And it makes sense why someone would be confused about that, because you dieted for so long and now it's finally over and you should be able to eat whatever you want, but that's just not the case. And the reason why you can't just do that is because you can risk gaining a lot of unhealthy weight. You were so lean and so strict for so long that your body just isn't used to that amount of food. So you have to add it back in slowly because your body just isn't prepared to eat that many calories and just go back to the way things normally are. You have to do it slowly, that way you don't just fall off the deep end. I think a lot of people think that you can just jump back to maintenance calories or into a surplus, but the truth is, like, you add in little by little every single week until you get back up to that maintenance calories. And like, that's part of the reason why I feel like this video is important to make, is because I feel like people just aren't educated on how a reverse is supposed to work. And I just feel like a lot of competitors aren't necessarily transparent about how difficult it is to go back to normal life after a show. It's definitely not easy. So I feel like it would be really easy for me to sit down right now and say that my reverse is going really well and that I'm doing really good. Mentally, after this show, I have been struggling a little bit, and that's okay, but I just kind of wanted to sit down and talk about it. I feel a little bit embarrassed to talk about this because after doing so well at my show, I feel the need to be doing really well on my reverse because I don't want to let anyone down. So it's just kind of hard to talk about, but I do still feel like it's important. I don't want to put this idea out there that this is super easy and that it's going perfectly when it's not. I know it's common for people to struggle with uncontrollable binging and gaining a ton of weight after their show, and I wouldn't necessarily say I fall into that category. It's definitely been difficult, but I would say my struggles have been a little bit different. The main thing I feel like I'm struggling with right now is body image and guilt surrounding the food I'm eating. And I have gained weight after my show, and I know that that's healthy and what's necessary to put on muscle mass, but there's still this like underlying guilt and uncomfortableness that I feel with it. And I know that I have to gain weight because you can't really put on a lot of muscle mass when you're stage lean. And I know that if I want to keep competing, I have to put on muscle mass so that I can improve on my physique from this year. But even knowing that, I still have this underlying guilt that I feel and this embarrassment about not being super lean anymore, which sucks to admit because I wish I didn't feel that way, but that's just what's going on. Like, I don't want to wear the cute outfits that I used to wear to the gym because I just don't feel comfortable in them. And it kind of sucks because I worked so hard to achieve this physique that I feel like I should be able to show it off in the gym, but I just don't feel comfortable like wearing the same outfits I used to wear. So I'm just trying to accept that part of bodybuilding is that building phase, And when I feel that way, I just try to circle back to what's logical, which is I need to put on weight to put on muscle. But I am human, and sometimes my emotions overtake what I know is logical, and it's easy to just get stuck in your head. But I am working on it, and I know that it's going to continue to get better. I just have to put in the effort to get to a better spot mentally. The second main thing I've been struggling with is this sense of emptiness. It's hard because you work so hard to get to one specific day, which is your show day, and then it's over. Just in one day, it's done. So a little bit I've been feeling after the show like I don't have a point or something I'm working towards, which I know isn't true. It's just easy to feel empty after doing something so big. So I need to work on coming up with some goals, or short-term things I can focus on so that that sense isn't so overwhelming for me. I feel like this video is kind of all over the place and it doesn't really have much structure, but I just wanted to share how I'm feeling. I wouldn't say that I'm doing super bad, but I'm also just not doing super good. So I just wanted to be open and honest with you guys. I haven't been as close with the people around me. I've been isolating myself a little bit from friends and even from my posts on the internet, but yeah, that's why. It's just because this is hard. On this channel, I just want to share my experiences, and I know that this video probably was not the most interesting to watch, but I hope that it was helpful or interesting to someone. Anyways, next week I will be back to uploading normal videos. So let me know what you guys want to see in the comments, and I will try to get back in a routine of things. If you guys are not subscribed, make sure you do that so you can see my videos. I post every single Sunday. If you want to follow me on my other social media, I have Instagram and TikTok at Erin_fitness or at Erin.fitness. Thanks so much for listening to me ramble, and I will see you guys next week.